Good morning, I'm Chad Seay from Seay Real Estate here in Richmond, Virginia. And what I want to talk to you about today is swimming pools and how they affect the sale of residential real estate. I oftentimes get asked by people who are thinking of installing a pool, should we do it? Will we get our money back? Will it hurt us at time of resale? I get asked that same question by people who already have pools. How is this going to affect the sale of our property? And like with so many questions, the answer begins with, well, it depends. It depends on the type of neighborhood you're in, whether or not other people have pools, how much you spend for the pool. It's very seldom a situation in our market where you can install a pool, especially an in-ground pool this year, sell the house next year and get all of the money back that you invested. The average price of an in-ground pool these days, of course, there's lots of variables, but around $30,000 is a number that is probably useful as you're thinking about the installation of an in-ground pool. And there are neighborhoods where others have pools. It tends to work best in the higher price range neighborhoods if you're installing a pool like that. In fact, I found online this information. It says, under the right circumstances, a pool could boost your home's value as much as 7%. House Logic estimates that 7% number, but here are the conditions, because it says under the right conditions. Number one, you live in a higher end neighborhood where most of your neighbors have pools. Number two, you live in a warmer climate like Florida, Arizona, or Hawaii, where you can enjoy a pool year-round. Number three, the pool doesn't take up your entire yard. There's still room for a swing and a garden and other outdoor activities. Number four, the style of the pool fits with your home and neighborhood, and it's well maintained. So you can't go getting too creative and have it pay off. And the fifth condition that can sometimes lead to a positive return as far as an increase in value goes is if you can attract a buyer who wants a pool in their new home. And isn't that always part of the equation? You have to have a buyer who wants the pool. So here in our Richmond market, gosh, I see that played out regularly. And that when we sell a house with an in-ground pool, automatically you cut out a certain percentage of the buyers who they just don't want the maintenance, the liability, and they're just not interested in having a pool. So you have to realize, well, there go some of my potential buyers, but there are some buyers out there who daggone it, they want a pool. And the field is limited. Not every house in this market has a pool like some other markets that have warm weather year-round. So if you can find the right buyer, somebody who really wants a pool, if you've maintained it real well, it fits well with your house, you still have a yard that can be utilized, and you're in a neighborhood that supports that, a pool can give you a positive return almost immediately. Now, the return that can't be measured, and what I'll always advise in connection with this, is the enjoyment you'll have from it. Don't invest in a pool thinking that it's really an investment as far as the value of your home goes. It can be a tremendous investment in the life of your family, just the enjoyment, the memories that are created, the pleasure you'll have as you go out and relax by your pool. I've read this, that we tend to want to justify things reasonably, and but we make decisions emotionally. And this is one of those cases with a pool. We want one, and then we turn to numbers. We want to be able to justify it with numbers. Not an easy thing to do with a pool, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, because you can't put a value on the enjoyment you'll have with friends and family at poolside. You need to think about additional expenses. I already mentioned the cost of installing an in-ground pool. You'll have a pump, you might have a heater for your pool, the electric bill will increase. Maintenance people are typically going to be employed. You may choose to do it yourself. The substances to maintain the proper pH in your pool, that's an expense. And sometimes insurance can be part of the equation that you need to take into consideration. But just thought I'd talk a little bit about pools today. Of course, there's different kinds. I've kind of focused on in-ground pools today. I've sold plenty of houses that have above-ground pools with decking around them, and they can be made very nice, and they're less expensive than the in-ground pools. Again, you want to think about your neighborhood. Does it stray from the norm in the neighborhood? Is it consistent with your neighborhood? And that can help determine, what type of pool you do. If you put a nice big in-ground pool that's in the $30,000 or more range, and you live in a neighborhood that's below average, a lot less likely you'll ever recover that cost. It can make it difficult to sell your house if you try. So more we could talk about on swimming pools. There's plenty of information online. It was on my mind today. I don't know why, probably because of the outdoor temperatures. But I hope it was helpful, and I hope you have a great week.